the best out of a person.
Yeah.
All right, now, Steve, hey, follow me on this, because I don't want to ask these girls anything they can't answer, okay?
But if you can't, if they won't, they can't, they won't.
Right, and I don't want them to anyway.
Right.
But I don't think there's any question that the one dominant negative force towards NXIVM in this area, if I could say negative or positive, I'm not sure which one it is, but the one voice of dissension in this area has been the Albany Times Union. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
And they've written multiple articles about NXIVM, which I would say have been a bit opposite of what you're describing. Is that fair?
Yes.
Have they been? My guess is you would both tell me that the articles have been very unfair towards the organization you're involved with.
I would say what's worse than unfair is incorrect.
Okay. Have you voiced, because the way I understand both of you is, if somebody puts a call into you, needs an answer from something, you're pretty much there for them. Have you participated in a lot of these articles that they've written? And even, oh, you haven't?
No.
Have you rejected?
But, I mean, I think I'd like to sort of step back a little bit. This isn't new. I mean, if you look, and I've spoken to many people who live in this area about it, unfortunately, controversy sells newspapers. There are very few newspapers that write stories about, you know, the success of this person or the success of that person, or you know, this something was wonderful in the community. That you don't find that in our newspapers today. In general, you find, you know, what sells, and that's not sexy, you know.
Okay. Well, one thing about, I'll say this about the Times Union, though, speaking for myself, but, you know, it doesn't matter what the newspaper is. I'm going to come in some days and have an issue with them, some days not, and the Times Union is one of those papers. But they usually, like most papers, seem to be after the truth. And the truth is about NXIVM, they have been very, very critical, and probably a lot of that criticism comes from the idea that two pretty powerful young women are involved with them, and they are you two. And, but it seems, on the other hand, to be servicing both of you quite well. You're very happy with the organization and probably can't understand why there's any criticism, correct?
I understand why there's criticism. You know, obviously, if anyone critically evaluates anything, they're going to look at, you know, both sides. I think what is sad to me is that what people are evaluating about NXIVM is just clearly not true. I don't mind anyone looking at an organization, looking at the factual data about the organization and making a determination based upon that. I think that that's wonderful. That's critical thinking. That's skepticism. I think that that's wonderful. I think the problem comes from when people are not, when the truth isn't out there, and when somebody's writing incorrect facts about an organization, and then people make their determination upon that, and I think that that's a tragedy.
That's fair criticism. But let me also ask both of you, if you're critical in that vein, then why haven't you participated in the stories they've written to help correct what they're feeling and what their opinions may be, or correct their facts?
We've tried.
Oh, you have? Okay. And to what degree have you tried? You've contacted the newspaper itself? And by the way, I'm not off base when I say they've been pretty critical, right?
Oh, no, they've been very critical.
Right, okay. Why haven't you participated, or why haven't they allowed your participation, if I may?
I mean, I can give my opinion
Sure,
to that.
please do.
I mean, I think that would be a good question for them. And actually, when you brought the subject up and you asked, you know, why this is the case, I almost asked that question right back to you. You know, you're a media man. You may have a better understanding of this than we do. We've been learning, I guess, through the School of Hard Knocks. But I think that, and I've heard this before of any publication, when they have a certain story that they've built over time, and we do this as human beings also, when we're invested in a certain way of looking at things. I think it becomes less easy to take in contrary information, and all of a sudden, you know, if I'm supporting the Democrats, all of a sudden I get, you know, data that says, wait a minute, I think I want to support the Republicans. I think that's a very hard thing to do for a public company. So I don't know exactly their reasons.
So you think they've hunkered down on their idea that this is not a good organization and you're not going to change their mind?
I believe so. I mean, my experience, which is very limited, was that even when I was asked questions and I gave the answers, it was almost as if they couldn't hear the answers that I was giving them.
What did they do? Did they fax you some or email you some questions that you responded to?
Well, I can give you a very an example of a process issue.
Because it's not just the Times Union here; it's other organizations that have been anti your group, correct?
Well, let me give you a process issue, and I think this speaks to what's happened in general. And I don't know how much this is in media, but if, for example, when His Holiness was coming originally in February, they wrote about that, and then there was a change. There was another organization that His Holiness was coming to visit, and the date was changed to April. When they wrote about that, they wrote something that was incorrect. So I went in and I gave them the specific data as to why what they had said was incorrect. Now, I think it takes a great amount of precision and honestly a lot of work to become very clear and understand the actual facts about something. So I think it's a general process issue of not evaluating the actual facts and then rewriting it.
Okay. Did they correct the error?
No.
They never did?
No.
Okay. They did yesterday, though, give the Dalai Lama a very favorable front-page story. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay. They did a fair job with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice publicity, I thought, for Wednesday's event. Which was, I mean, this is a powerful figure, and we're going to talk about him after 9 o'clock. Well, this is a powerful figure coming to the area. And you both do understand about NXIVM. When powerful, worldwide women get involved with a group like this, and listen, both of you seem like you could be from North Albany, quite frankly, sitting here talking to you. But the truth is, you're not. I mean, you're from a very powerful family. And when people like this all of a sudden start living here and are involved with groups of this nature, I think it does really shine the light over what the heck is going on there. Okay, well, but you say it hasn't been a favorable.
Well, it's an interesting, because there is quite the conundrum. There's the conundrum that, for many years there has been a lot of real negative about NXIVM. However, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is coming, having thoroughly vetted it out.
Let me hold you right there. Claire and Sarah, how you guys doing, all right?
Good.
Steve, how they doing? They okay?
Fine.
They're great. They're terrific. We'll take a break for the news, top of the hour. Claire and Sara Bronfman are here with their attorney, Steve Coffey. We're back following the news on Talk 1300.
The most live local talk for the Capital Region. Paul Vandenburgh on WGDJ. Rensselaer.